Let's go! I got my America First hats. They just came in and I'm so excited. America First. America First. And it's funny because I'm Canadian. It says NJF on the back. America First on the front. And I think it has the American flag on one of the sides. I just love it. I'm a huge fan. And I really love the hat. I think it's great. I'm so glad it came in. And one more thing, I got the camo as well. America first, America first, America first. And it's orange on the back for the NJF logo or initials. And I'm just a huge fan. I can't tell which one I like better, if I like the blue or the camo better. Honestly, I like them both. I think I like the camo a bit better. But I don't know, I also really like the blue. I feel like the blue pops more. Maybe obviously the camo is more concealed in a way. But the blue definitely pops more, especially for like the America First, just pops right off. I really like that. Yeah, I'm excited to wear my hats out in public. Like I said, I live in Canada, so it's kind of weird. But if you know anything about what's going on, Canada is not doing good. Seriously, Canada is like a living nightmare. And it's like a slow frog boil. And the people are just like, yeah, it's going worse and worse. The people are just being cucked and cooked, especially the men. And it's just a mess. It's like a diversity mess. And yeah, I don't know. I really support America First. I support the Western civilization. I support white people. I support tradition. I support Christianity. I'm a Christian. I just think it's really important to support something that actually means something and that's important. So anyways, that's why I bought the hats. They were expensive too. It cost like it was like $40 US for each hat plus $20 shipping to Canada US. So $100 US to Canadian, and then I had to pay through crypto, and that had like fees onto it. It came to like almost $150 for two hats, but I don't care. I felt it was worth it. Seriously. And it's like supporting the cause too, so you know, it's not like I have a lot of money or anything. And I've thought about sending like a super chat donation. You can, so to Nick's stream you can send a super chat and he'll read it out. But I've thought about it. I'm like, nah. Because the thing is, a lot of those super chatters, they're just trying to get like a reaction out of him. And he's trying to get the money because he's like, he doesn't take sponsorship deals and everything. Although lately he said that he's considering it, especially for the gold sponsorship. Some gold company wants to sponsor him, but yeah, I don't know. But the reason he doesn't take sponsorship is because then you have to modify your message to fit with sponsor values, lest your sponsor drop you if they don't want you close to their brand. So that's kind of like the whole strings attached thing that's happening to everyone in every organization and everything. And the string pullers are the Jews. I think most people kind of are starting to wake up or understand that fact. But the thing is that I just wanted the hats, number one, and number two, I wanted to contribute. So it kind of worked. It was good, you know. So I bought the merch. I don't buy merch for anybody. Like, people buy merch. It's amazing. It's a lot of young people usually buy merch for different things, but I don't really buy merch ever. But yeah, I'm interested to wear these outside. I feel like most people won't care. Probably like 90% of people won't notice or care. 10% of people might care to some extent, and I think of that 10%, maybe like 8% or something would say something like, "What do you mean America first? You live in Canada." And then maybe like 2% or less would realize that it has like a political meaning, specifically tied to the America First movement, led by Nick Fuentes, or at least that's his brand, and now he's trying to lead it. And yeah, and then I think of that 2%, you know, maybe like probably most of them would just like think that it's like that I'm a Nazi or whatever the associated slurs are with, or not slurs but labels are with Nick Fuentes and the America First movement and America in general. Then those would then be associated with me. That's how branding kind of works anyway, and that's the appeal behind wearing a certain brand, because of the association. You know, there's certain other things that people like to think of about brands, like, oh, it looks nice, but the greater thing that people care about is the association, what it's associated with. And yeah, I think that's all important, all true, but all important. But I think that, yeah, probably some people will, they probably wouldn't say anything outright, or if they were to say something, they might say it like, maybe, they might just form an opinion quickly and then have something to say in defense if I were to talk to them. That's how most people are, very defensive. People won't outright say something if it's perceived as offensive, but they will say stuff in defense. And that's seriously how people are for the most part, you know what I mean? And then the definitions of what is defensive and offensive also get played with and screwed around with. But for the most part, people won't say anything because Canadians are very, like I said, cucked and cooked. But there are a lot of like crazy liberals. Like, Canada is just a crazy liberal place. It's so liberal, and it's insane. But I think that maybe like it's possible if I wore it around enough, somebody might be a fan of Nick as well, and then it'd be like a conversation starter or something, or just like mutual appreciation. I don't know. I'm just happy I have it, and I know it's funny because it's like a repellent. It's probably like a repellent for a lot of people, specifically women. But I don't care too much. Like, I don't really care all that much. It's strange because when you try and fit in with everybody else, it's like life sucks. Life kind of sucks. Like, there's obviously the chance of repercussions, and that's sort of what everybody defaults to in their calculations, is that if I do something outgoing or if I put myself in some sort of risky position, and by the way, this is all usually internal thoughts. It's not, a lot of it's not even that rational, but people think like if I put myself in a risky position or out there, whether it be with an opinion or whatever, or what I wear or something, then they think about the worst negative repercussions. But at this point, like I said, 90% of people don't care. Most people are kind of fried. And then there's maybe like 10% of people who would say something about the hat, but of that, probably like 8% would be sort of aloof to the meaning, and then maybe that there'd be like a 2% of people that would have something more of an opinion, specifically maybe like you could say a negative opinion about it. But I would say that like maybe there's a very off chance somebody would appreciate that. I know if I saw somebody wearing an America First hat, I'd go up to them and I'd just be like, I'd like dap them up. I think that's the expression when you like go like that, slap hats, be like, let's go. I know it's kind of like juvenile and funny, but it's honestly kind of exciting for me at least. Yeah, I just think Canada's so fried. Seriously. But yeah, that's my hat. I'm really happy with it. It's got good quality. On the inside, it says, I don't know if you can really see, but it says made in the USA or made in USA. And then there's like a logo. It's kind of hard to see, but it says Groyper Made Goods. Groyper Made Goods. And it's got like a Groyper or a Pepe or something on there. You know, it's funny, I didn't really know what a Groyper was, but I guess I'd seen it before. But I think it's like a variation on Pepe, but it's the one that's kind of like going like this, and it's like more like a just looking kind of observant Pepe or frog or whatever. Obviously it's from 4chan, but it's kind of funny. All the things on 4chan, not all, but a lot of them, they work their way into the main public consciousness slowly. And for good or ill, I don't really know, but things like Wojak and then all the variations on Wojak, they all work their way in. And I'm sure there's examples before from earlier, but I think 4chan has been around since like 2003. But the main thing about it is it's supposed to be like an uncensored, or at least very little censorship, place on the internet. And that's why it's got all the most, you know, quote unquote vile, hateful, misogynistic or anti-Semitic or everything. It's like a concentration of those things, but mixed in with those things, because if you have the ability to speak freely, then there's also things that are other ideas that are suppressed for other reasons. Because I think the thing that a lot of people don't know, and this is the whole thing behind red pill and blue pill, is that we live in like a constructed reality. I don't really want to belabor that point, but it's related to all the things that you're allowed to look at. And people don't even realize that, but there are bounds that are, you know, put in place by people that were older than us when we were children. And you don't really understand it as much until you get older. Or if you start being exposed to more of this stuff, which actually the younger generation are now, because the bounds are now really loosened in a lot of aspects, which is a huge topic. Really important topic. That's what's going on right now. But when you're younger, there's bounds, and so what's within the bounds of your reality, or what your media reality generally is, what you're familiar with and how you operate within there. And then you have like an array of people within there, most people, and you know, you get kind of variations between people, but they're still within these bounds. And oftentimes they fight with each other and stuff. And Noam Chomsky said like, forget exactly the quote, but he said something like, have discourse be, to control discourse, have it within boundaries of what's acceptable, but within what's acceptable, have very lively debate. And so this, like an early example of this would be pineapple on pizza. What's your preference? It's like retarded, like who cares? But it's become such a big debate, like quote unquote debate. or rather like a point of interest. It's like a kids debate, but it takes attention and it takes energy, and like a lot of people, most people don't really care, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, well actually I like pineapple on pizza, and then somebody else be like, what? You like pineapple on pizza? That's so gross. And it's like, who cares? But it's like, that is kind of like an acceptable, lively discourse within the bounds. There's other examples too, like the Yanny and Laurel soundbite. It's like, what do you hear? And it's a soundbite, and some people hear Yanny and some people hear Laurel. And then everyone's like, what? It sounds like Yanny. What are you talking about? And they're like, no, it sounds like Laurel. And you literally get like extended conversations and extended whatever, but it's just like, again, it's like attention and discourse is thus focused on that, and it's not focused on what's outside the bounds. And it's like, okay, sure, fine, who cares? Not everybody has to care about what's outside the bounds of quote unquote acceptable discourse. But the thing is that it's like those bounds, they are really like important. And obviously I'm talking about like the Overton window, and I'm talking about you could say like the social contract or whatever, but that gets kind of controlled and shifted around, and what's outside there, it becomes anathema. It's anti-thematic. You can't say it. It's against the regular theme. It's anathema. And I think that's what anathema means, but I know the dictionary definition, but I think that's what anathema means, maybe from the root words. The root word and then the prefix. But anyway, my point is that you can't really say anything outside the bounds, which is obviously, anything that to do with Jewish control, Jewish power influence, anything to do with power influence in general. And there's many other things, but a lot of things that are put within the bounds, they're like distractions, and people call them, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Once you get into this territory, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. You get like limited hangouts, it's like a term that's used within this conversation. But anyways, I'm kind of going off, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy to have my hat. And it literally does shift conversations. You might think, oh, that's stupid, nothing really does anything nowadays, but it kind of does. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to have my hat. I don't know how much I'm gonna wear it out, but I would like to wear it out. And it's also it's winter time, so wearing a hat's not the best. I usually wear like a toque and then pull my hood up over it because it's actually really cold out. But I think I might wear it like, I could wear it to like the gym. I don't know. I don't have many opportunities to wear it really, but I could just wear it around. I'm happy about this, I'll say something else. It's kind of an interesting point as well. Things become more real the more they get instantiated into reality. I know it's another weird point, but what I'm trying to say is that everybody can have ideas, okay? And then there's a greater conversation about where those ideas come from and whether there are really any original ideas or if they're all just discovered or rediscovered. And that's a way deeper conversation. Some people think that all knowledge is already out there and that it's just kind of like being rediscovered or something like that. And kind of like I don't know about a proof, but a support for that idea is that nobody knows where their ideas come from. That's kind of true. Like, do you know where ideas pop into your head from? They get influenced and they come in different states. If you're in a different state, like a creative state, or if you're angry, quote unquote angry, if you're in a bad mood, all your ideas might be negative or whatever. But the point is that things become more real the more they come into reality. So this hat, obviously, it's like It's like it was an idea, obviously. The America First idea, it wasn't, Nick Fuentes didn't create that idea. He took it as his brand. It was like invented in the, I don't know, the early 1900s or something. And then it kind of somewhat became more prevalent when Trump came in 2016. He was saying America First. And so that's where the idea kind of came on, took more on, but it wasn't like a quote, trademarked brand, I don't think. Trump's brand was more like MAGA, Make America Great Again, which itself wasn't even an original idea. It came earlier. But these ideas are now more like real in a sense, because now Nick has chosen it as his brand, or his movement, and he's making merch. It's being printed on a logo, it's on a hat, it's on something you can wear, and then people like myself who believe in the movement, who believe in the ideas. I only really disagree with Nick on theology because I'm now an Orthodox catechumen, and there's things about Catholicism versus Orthodoxy that are extremely important, but Jews have infiltrated Catholicism, and a lot of Catholics don't even want to talk about that. Gregory Baum, a Jewish convert after World War II to the priesthood, the Catholic priesthood, wrote Nostra Aetate, one of their doctrines under the Vatican II Council. And in it, he said that Muslims, Christians, and Jews all worship the same God. And Catholics really have to, I don't really love using this term, but cope to try and justify that. And it's like that it's unjustifiable biblically, because it says in the Bible, he who denies the Son denies the Father also. So the doctrine's messed up in the Catholic Church, and for other reasons as well. But I don't want to get into all of that, but I just disagree with Nick on his theology. And I support almost like all of his other ideas, most of them. And I really appreciate that he is actually saying these things. He's actually going out there and saying it. He's taking all the bullets. He's taking all the, not literally, but, I pray for him that he doesn't get shot. A lot of people want to kill him, but he's taking all the fire for it. Like, and that's something a lot of people don't want to do. And that's actually also like what a lot of older people don't want to do, which is why they failed us, like why the boomers have failed us. And there's actually a lot to be said about this, but it's some boomers and some people throughout the generations prior have tried to say something, opposing Jewish power and other things like this, but they were shut down, they were assassinated, they were silenced, censored, everything else. And so that's why, this internet thing is a pretty big deal for many reasons, but specifically for the reasons of censorship and information spreading. So it's a huge topic, but it's a good thing, I think, because it's like, we live in what they call them Orwellian times. It's like from the book 1984, but it's talking about like censorship and Fahrenheit 9/11, where they were burning books and censorship there, and then Brave New World, where I think they were all like taking some kind of drug to be in a utopia, but then reality was so far removed, and you could actually see it, and they had like a utopian bubble, but then you could actually, in some parts of the book, go outside of it, and it was just absolute chaos. But that was the reality. It was like primitive and tribal and primal. So anyways, very happy with my hat. Thank you, Nick, for all the work you're doing. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for Western civilization, for people of goodwill. I always pray that prayer for people of goodwill, peace to people of goodwill. I don't think there's a lot of goodwill in the world right now. I think it's a lot of bad will going around, and that's not a good thing. We pray for people to be at peace, and that's why as Christians we pray for people to repent of their sins, come to God, ask for forgiveness, ask for mercy, believe, study the Bible, read the Bible, uphold the values of the Bible, love one another, even our enemies, love our enemies. That doesn't mean let every enemy in and let them destroy your country and everything like that. But that is really that's biblically, those are the values Christ lived, and he did that because he is God. He understood God, like he is God, understood God's will, was doing God's will, his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And it's a very deep topic, but very important one. And you really don't get like any kind of good conversation, very little good conversation of any depth or substance out in the world, and that's tough. And it's up to men. It's up to men, because women are not going to do it. It's up to men to have those hard conversations, the ones that are scary, the ones that you could be in trouble for, saying a bad word or something like that. And honestly, so I'm learning that, right? I'm learning that because I didn't have very many good examples for that. And I'm not trying to be like a big whiner, but seriously, the examples that you get as a man, it's like hardcore like salesman guy types, and you almost have to really go back throughout history and study history just to get like an actual masculine example, because you don't necessarily get that, with a lot of these with a lot of modern men. And I'm not trying to hate on men too much, but I am saying that it is up to men. Women are not going to do it. Children are not going to do it, So anyway, I'm very happy with my hat. Happy that I have it. I wonder when I'm going to wear it outside. I wonder when I'm going to go outside and wear it. Like, I could go to the mall. I'm nervous. That's why I'm laughing so much. But I could go to the mall and I could wear it. I'm actually nervous. Like, legitimately, I'm nervous. Legitimately, it makes me nervous. But it could be fun. Because, like, again, I suffer from social anxiety. I suffer from complex PTSD, due to family issues and all this stuff. Bullying and everything else in school, and just like a lot of things. But at the same time, I would like to go and wear it out. It would be really fun, I think. Although nerve-wracking. So, anyways.